Hello and welcome back, everybody. Week 2 of the preseason rolls on for your Minnesota Vikings. We took a loss to the Buffalo Bills last week, and it doesn't get any easier this week as we go to CenturyLink Field there in Seattle as we take on the 1-0 Seahawks. Now, something to get to very, very interesting. We go to the injury report, and we see that Kenny Erickson has an abdominal tear, so he will sit out this game and he'll come back for the opener. But you got to be wondering. That leaves a hole in the quarterback rotation. We can't roll with two. Well, that is true, as well as we have signed Colin Kaepernick, the best quarterback available in the free agents. And we will sign him to what seems to be right now a one-game contract, maybe more if he proves that he could do good. So today we'll see a very, very different face of starters, as you'll see than just what's lining up here. No, I don't want to quit. We're going to get right into this thing. This has been Randy Replay. I will see you in just a moment. Let's go! Of course, you get Randy right when he takes a bite of the Twizzler. Week 2 of the preseason, at least in this spotlight, showcases the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks, two quarterbacks from our perspective. Smeagol will get the start today, and Russell Wilson will get the start for the Seahawks. And here we are. It's nighttime. It's a little night game football here in Seattle. As you can see moments ago, the fireworks and player introductions took center stage for both of these teams. The Hawk flies out, and so do the players. And the Minnesota Vikings were met with boos. Looking to change that on the field. Here we get our first win of the preseason. Are the Minnesota Vikings, rather. And they'll have to watch out for this potent offense and very, very good defense. Of course, the LOB on the other side of the field. So as we get ready for kickoff, one thing I'm going to have to watch out for today, or that I'm going to be looking for, is the run defense. Of course, giving up so many yards to the Buffalo Bills. Joe Banyard looking like Adrian Peterson out there. So here we go. And boom! The kick is away and we are underway. Looks like Baldwin will take it from about the 10-yard line. And he will have a very good return going up to 34. As Mike Zimmer looks on, we will welcome Russell Wilson and this, like I said, potent offense of the Seattle Seahawks. There are his measurables. And here we go. Never show again. Excuse me, as we're going to start out. And so this first play will feature last week's starters, but then we will change that and we will get moving with the starters for the second game as Russell Wilson will get it, and it will be dropped twice. The coverage very, very good. Oops, we seem to have skipped the Seattle Seahawks offense. So as everybody comes back out, we got Lewis and the Pickering brothers in the middle, Scott Rethwell and Dan Nolte out there, as well as a host of others. Dan Nolte or Russell Wilson rather, will hand off to Thomas Rawls, and he will go down in a heap, clenching his elbow. Jacob Pickering on the tackle. We will step aside, injury timeout. And I said elbow, and it's his shoulder, so Randy already messing up. We'll be back. Welcome back. Thomas Rawls seen in his helmet there on the sideline, so it looks like he will be out for just a play or two. So now the first third down and 10 of the game. 14:49 left to go here in the first quarter. Thomas Rawls and Eddie Lacy will come out. And Richard Salty actually dropping back into coverage. There's the throw. It goes to Baldwin. Baldwin will get the first down up to the 49. 17-yard catch and run, and that will be a first down for the Seattle Seahawks, or the Seattle Super Chickens, as I call them prior to this broadcast. Eddie Lacy in there. Russell Wilson will turn. Play action to Eddie Lacy. We are blitzing. And Anderson will give up as this thing is overthrown, intended for Curse. And now we'll get a look at your Minnesota Vikings defensive starters here tonight. So you can see Richard Salty, Kevin Stark, Terrell Oliver, Leo Neal there, making up the 4 defense line. Scott Rethwell, Jacob Pickering, Danny Pickering, and then Dan Nolte with the linebackers. Zachary Anderson, Poi Trolamalu, Jerry Myers, and Robert Nichols will get the starts at corner and safeties. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Of course, we have Rashid Spinks, everybody else coming out there in the second quarter. So 14-15 left to go from the 49. Single back formation. Russell will turn, give it to Lacey. Lacey will not get very far. Maybe a rush of 2 brought down by, looks to be like Jacob Pickering, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 8. So pretty good start here for the Minnesota Vikings, if I don't say so myself. A lot better than last week. Of course, you got Jimmy Graham to worry about, though, so. Oh, multiple. Okay, so get that weird animation there. Russell Wilson not all day to throw. He looks right. Caught after the throw, of course, is Jimmy Graham. I just talked about him. And he catches it for a gain. Looks to be about 12 or 13. There's Eddie Lacy taking the handoff to the left. Lack of commentary here for Randy Replay. 2nd and 6 upcoming after the 4-yard run by Eddie Lacy. Now they're going to get out of their 3-4 and they're going to go 4-3 right now. And we will get the first player spotlight cam, Jerry Myers, who had an interception last week. Will be our player spotlight for this play. And it was caught by, looks like Brown out there. Tackled by, looks to be like a man called Ryan Bulow, I do believe. No, Jacob Pickering again on the tackle. I do apologize. Of course, we have linebackers on receivers, so we'll switch. Play action. Russell Wilson to throw. Caught Lockett in the end zone on the Seahawks W, and that is what happens when you put linebackers on wide receivers. Ricardo Lockett, I do believe that is his name, with the touchdown catch. Seattle goes up 6-0. Ricardo Lockett, I'm not even sure about that. Anyway, Lockett scores as Seahawks score in their first opening possession, just like last week against the Bills. Snap, spot, kick is away, and it is good. 7-0 now, Seattle Seahawks. But the Minnesota Vikings will get the ball first, and Colin Kaepernick will get the start after being signed days ago. So they're going to throw him into the fire first. It is not Smeagol, like I said in the pregame. So Colin Kaepernick will come out, his first game in, I want to say, over a couple years. So they're looking to see what they have in him. There are his measurables. And not even a player video to go along with Colin Kaepernick. So we'll see what he can do here as they start out at the 25-yard line after a good run back by Luke Slazewski. Of course, we will take a look at the offensive starters first here in a little bit. But you got Derek Fahey out there, running back Josh Gable, Luke Slazewski, Lou Wang at wide receiver and tight end. And it first handoff goes to Fahey, not going to get too far. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Pat Elfline, Alex Boone, Riley Reeve, Joe Berger, Mike Remmers makes up your Minnesota Vikings starting offensive line. Moving on. Blake Letelier, Justin Sandman, Derek Fahey, Josh Gable, Lou Wang, and of course Colin Kaepernick at quarterback. So this could be very good or very bad. Of course, you don't know what you have in Colin Kaepernick, as he's not started a game in, like I said, about 2 years. So they will get his first pass play out of the way, and it's caught by Blake Letelier across the middle, and he takes a big hit and holds on to the ball. So Colin Kaepernick, 1 for 1, 21 yards to Blake Letelier. And so far, so good. Big hit there by Cam Chancellor. Oh my goodness. Excuse me, I know if that was Randy Replay, I would not be able to hold on to that ball. That'll bring the drive up to the 47, of course. Just 10:57 left to go here in the first quarter, as Derek Fahey again not able to get much. Maybe a yard there. Excuse me again. So this defense, not one to take lightly, of course. Michael Bennett moving to left end, Cliff Averill. Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, and Kevin Pierre-Louis. And of course, this secondary that has been so good for so long. And it's quickly 2nd and 9, and we're going to see what they can do here. The Minnesota Vikings take the ball from their own 48. Derek Fahey to the left of Colin Kaepernick in the shotgun. Kaepernick will get the snap. It's a play action. He's going to shoot across the middle. Luke Slazewski is going to try and juke, but get brought down by a host of Seattle defenders to the 33. So 2 for 2, 30 yards for Colin Kaepernick's debut. Very good so far. And we'll see what we can do later on in the game. 9:55 and counting left to go. Fahey offset to the right of Kaepernick in the shotgun. He will turn. He will give it to Fahey. Fahey will try and spin out of a tackle, but we'll take it up to the 28, gain of 6. 5 rather, sorry. 2nd and 5 from the 28 now. Colin Kaepernick comes out in the single back. Of course, Justin Sandman checking in. He gets the ball. He will bring it up a good 7 yards rather for the first down. Of course, he will be the 2nd string tonight. And then enter in Travis Parker, Sam Gable, and the rest. Oh no! So I really hope Fahey didn't get injured. Justin is still out there. It's a draw to Justin Sandman. He will take it. Looks to be like a first down to the 10. Yes, indeed. 2 rushes, 17 yards. Might have to check the injury report here momentarily off the QB draw. Justin Sandman getting work. Of course, he had a rough start last week against the Bills, but once he got in there, he really turned things around. Okay, Fahey checks back in. As Kaepernick, Lou Wang in motion. Kaepernick out of the shotgun. He gets the snap. He will throw right. Caught Fahey. Fahey stops and able to keep himself from going out of bounds. Gets up to the 5. Oh my goodness. So now we're in discussion of a touchdown here. As Fahey will stay in I formation. Kaepernick, 8 seconds to snap the ball. He will get the snap away in time. Fahey looking for a hole. He's not going to find one. Gets up to the 4, though. He gets a yard. It's 3rd and 4 now, so we'll see what they can do here. And Colin Kaepernick will call a timeout. Saw something in the defense, or maybe it was the offensive play call, but he's going to trot on over to Mike Zimmer. We'll step aside. Seem to have worked things out as the Minnesota Vikings will come back to the huddle here. 1st and goal from the 4. Of course, 3rd and 4, so even if they fail to get a touchdown, they might still get the first down. Colin Kaepernick out of the shotgun. Justin Sandman to his left. He throws, diving! Bobby Wagner will break up the pass intended for Luke Slazewski. And they're forced to try a field goal from 21 yards out. Of course, Brandon Baker missed from 52 last week. But from 21, it is near perfect. And the Minnesota Vikings score on that big drive. Eddie Lacy in the backfield, offset shotgun. Russell Wilson gets the snap. Turns, hands it to Lacy. Lacy has a lane, and Lacy will score! Missed tackling and good blocking is the recipe that makes up Eddie Lacy's first rushing touchdown of the day. And Mike Zimmer not too pleased, or so I would say if he misreading the guy. I'm not too sure. Snap down spot, good kick away. It is good. So Blair Walsh kicks the Seattle Seahawks to a 14-3 lead. Kaepernick calling on his protection, tapping his butt. He will turn. He will give it to Derek Fahey, who looks like he will be short of the first down marker on first inspection. He is. So 3rd and inches now for your Minnesota Vikings here. Getting a good drive put together. 3rd and inches from our own 48. Colin Kaepernick will come out in the single eye set. Tapping his butt a little bit. He will turn. Fullback gets a block. He gives it to Fahey. I don't think he got it. Okay, so he did get the first down. Derek Fahey, yet again. Fahey to his right. Throws off the back foot. Blake Letelier, he has space to run on. Another big hit to Blake Letelier. This time, he's down. So clenching his left shoulder after that big hit, of course, getting hit earlier. And we'll step aside for the injury timeout. As you can see, he's on the athletic trainer's table. Don't expect a return for Blake Letelier, as now he's holding his midsection. So it might be another underlying issue, but that is what this defense does. They hit hard and they hit often. Lou Wang will check in for his place, as here's Derek Fahey lined up behind Russell Wilson in the single back formation. That is Darian Wilson, man in motion to the left side of Kaepernick. Kaepernick will get the snap, and he'll hand it off to Fahey. Fahey with some room to work. Jukes out of the tackle and then gets brought down from behind by Sheed, and he'll be up, excuse me, to the 17. He has 30 yards on the day. Biggest run of the day for any Minnesota Viking. First down. What a juke. Chancellor out in coverage. A dislocated shoulder. Blake Letelier will not be able to return for this game. Defense lines up. Colin Kaepernick out of the shotgun. Gets the snap. He throws to the end zone. Caught. Lou Wang at the 1. But they'll say he's down at the 2. After another big hit. Bring him down. And now what do you do? Minute 18 left to go for these starters in the game here. Derek Fahey behind Colin Kaepernick in the single back set. He will get it. Fahey pushes, forces his way down to the 1. Almost a touchdown. Derek Fahey saw the gap close really quick. Mike Zimmer's on the sideline. He might challenge this thing. It looked like he went over. As Mike Zimmer will throw the challenge flag for the touchdown. It looked like he went over before he was down, and Mike Zimmer decides to challenge. So the first challenge of the preseason for the Minnesota Vikings. We're going to take a look. Ooh, that's hard to tell from that angle. Let's see if we can get another one. Okay, so knee was down before the elbow, so this one doesn't look like it'll get overturned and we lose a timeout. But you never know. Stranger things have happened here in the NFL. Ruling on the field stands. It's down at the 1. That doesn't mean we stop there. We have another couple chances. Colin Kaepernick pitches to Fahey. Fahey cuts in. He gets down at the 2. Loss of 1, Derek Fahey. This defense is so good at making guys miss on the offensive line. So now what do you do? Colin Kaepernick will make the call here. He comes out in the shotgun set. Derek Fahey to his left. Gets the snap. Kaepernick fires back in the end zone. Almost intercepted. But I do believe that's Bobby Wagner. 2 pass deflections, second of the game. We have to settle for 3. Oh my goodness. So Brandon Baker, a very busy Beaver tonight as he attempts another. And this one is more perfect than the first. It's 14-6 now. So at the end of 1, they bust out a good one as they lead 14-6, the Seattle Seahawks do. Jimmy Graham with a good little first quarter, as well as Eddie Lacy on his way to a touchdown. We'll be back momentarily. Of course, the TV commenters, commentators, Brandon Gaunon and Charles Davis. So we're going to step aside. We're going to get the second stringers out here, and we'll see you in just a moment. So the Vikings defense has changed, and Seattle will keep their starters out there. Terrell Oliver on the offensive or defensive line, of course. There's Russell Wilson getting loose. Thomas Cross staying with him. Melvin Thomas Cross with a big hit. But the much slower Thomas Cross will pick him up as Russell Wilson will get 2 yards there. Otis McMiller, of course. Terrell Oliver. Josiah Russell, your right end. Tevin Fair, your left end, and of course, Tevin Fair getting a good tackle in there. And then at linebacker, you have Rashid Spinks and Justin Lewis. And of course, your backs are Aaron Nelson, Paul Fritchie, Rosu, Zachary Anderson, and Matthew Arnsdorf. So there's your second string defense for the Minnesota Vikings. Russell Wilson gets the snap. He throws it down the field. Intercepted, but he's out of bounds. Thaddeus Rosu. Now, there is an injury. We're not sure who it is. I do believe Russell Wilson took a shot at the end of this one. But look at that throw. Picked off Thaddeus Rosu, but he lands outside the end zone. Oh, 1 foot out. Oh, my heavens. Lee will be your tight end. Campagna gets the snap, steps up in the pocket, throws short, complete not Russell Wilson, Darian Wilson across the middle, gain of 14. Good enough for a first down. Darian Wilson, second and 13. It doesn't look like anybody from the Vikings. Jeremy Lane will be injured for Seattle. So, Stephen Campagna under center, gets a snap and gets a wide open Jesse Peterson across the middle of the field. He spins away from a tackle, obviously being brought down by Cam Chancellor, but not until he gets up to the 38 Minnesota Vikings first down. 11:20 left to go. Campagna turns, flips, Sandman, oh my goodness, gets blasted. Holds on to the ball. I think that is, I'm not sure, Earl Thomas, yes. And he'll get enough, pretty close to the first down. We're going to take a look at this hit again. Oh, he was looking left, blindsided by Earl Thomas. Oh my goodness. I don't think you punt it here. I think you go for it. I mean, it is the preseason. They're going to keep the offense out. So keeping the offense out, the ball seemed to have been at one point on the line. Campagna will tap his butt. He'll turn around. He'll give it to Matthew Peterson, the fullback. They get the first down. We go again. Another third down. 3rd and 17. Now here, you're, excuse me, you know you can hit a field goal from about 50 yards. And Stephen Campagna goes down another. That is Bobby Wagner coming in untouched. 5th tackle of the game. 4th and 24 now for the Minnesota Vikings. They're forced to punt. Nobody picked him up. He came in unblocked, and that is how that drive will end. Taylor Pleen boots this thing away. This will go out at the 6. So a good punt by Taylor Pleen. Good tackle, Terrell Oliver. Another tackle on Eddie Lacy, Terrell Oliver. 2nd tackle for loss of the game, 2nd of this drive. Oh, Terrell Oliver fakes, going back in the motion, and it will be recovered by Seattle. Oh no, recovered by Tevin Fair and the Vikings. Oh my goodness. Russell Wilson was thrown off by Terrell Oliver dropping into coverage. So he starts to run, being blasted by Tevin. He's down though, I do believe. Tevin Fair recovers it. But that is a sack nonetheless for Tevin Fair. Oh no, that ball was out before he hit the ground. So Minnesota Vikings will take over. Stephen Campagna comes out. Looking, he's going to run. He's going to take off. Stephen Campagna. First down, and he got hit out of bounds. That will draw the flag.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
So flag thrown, unnecessary roughness. That'll bring us all the way up to the 37-yard line. Campagna out of the I formation. He sees Travis Lee across the middle. He fumbles the ball, recovered by Travis Lee, so he gets his hand in there. That will count. Oh my goodness, this defense, very good at forcing fumbles, and they did there, but luckily enough to get his hand back on his own fumble is Travis Lee. So now 1:17 left to go. And I just got done talking about it, saying that you want to waste as much time. We did not waste much time here on this drive. So we got about 11 seconds left to go on the play clock. There's about a minute left to go on the game clock. Out of the I formation, he will turn, hand it to Justin. Oh, he saw the hole, but it closed quickly. Oh my goodness, they're gonna go no huddle. They're gonna try it again here. Going no huddle now. Toss Sandman. Matthew Peterson picks up the block, but he can't get back in time. Gonna go no huddle again. 3rd and goal, you have to do something here. Oh my goodness, the broken play yet again, and the Minnesota Vikings are forced to settle for a field goal opportunity. The play calling, as we step aside, the play calling here, not the best in Randy's eyes. So why would you call a play action down there on the field? Anyway, Brandon Baker very busy tonight. He's going to get another field goal opportunity. This one is good. 14-9. 4, 3, 2, 1. They get the snap off right at the last second, and Eddie Lacy will bring it up to the 32. First half is completed. Oh my goodness. So lots of scoring. No offensive touchdowns for the starters here. As we'll get a whole new set, Smeagol will take over quarterback duties for the whole second half, as we'll change out the running backs, the receivers, and the defensive players. I will see you in just a moment for first half analysis. And hello and welcome to your halftime break. This is Randy Replay. We're going to get you ready for everything second half Minnesota Vikings football. The rushing yards, very good to see. Minnesota Vikings leading 100-61. Not really giving up too much on the ground. 227 total yards of offense surrendered to the starters for the Seattle Seahawks, one of the more potent offenses in the league, so that's good to see. Winning in first downs. Third down conversions, though, 2 for 7. That is 28%. So that's something that has to be fixed. Red zone field goals, 3. That as well. Time of possession is very good, though, 18 minutes spent. So we're just going to go over your leaders here for the Minnesota Vikings. Colin Kaepernick leads the team with a QB rating of 97.0. He went 6 for 9. That is 66% completion percentage. For those of you who don't know how to do math or didn't look in this column. 85 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Derek Fahey took the day over. In terms of carries, 11 for 36. Justin Sandman, 10 for 47. Receiving, it is Luke Silazewski, 2 for 33. Blake Letelier, 2 for 36. He also left the game with a torn shoulder, so we'll see what shakes loose with that after the game. Nobody cares about blocking. We're going to go to defense, look at total tackles, and Poi Tralambalu, with 5. Tevin Fair with 4. Jacob Pickering with 3. And Zachary Anderson kicks off the 2s. Tackles for loss, we had 2 by Terrell Oliver on the same drive, and 1 by Tevin Fair, everybody. QB sacks, he also had a sack, Tevin Fair. Now, while not having an interception that counted, there was an interception by Thaddeus Rozu. It was just out of the back of the end zone, so it did not count. Pass deflections, we had 2 by Luis Gonzalez and Zachary Anderson. I don't know how a tight end has a pass deflection, but there you go. Forced fumbles, 1 by Tevin Fair, recovered. I do believe it was Tevin Fair that recovered it, but they're not going to give him credit, so we might have to take a look at that. No safeties, no defensive touchdowns. And, of course, Brandon Baker through the first half of football. 3 for 3, longest of 27. Punting, Taylor Polina on 1 punt, 48 yards, netting 48. And, of course, that one going inside the 6-yard line. So we're going to get the depth chart updated, and we will see you in just a moment. You're just about ready for the second half kickoff. And Boomaloomalooski, it is away. Darian Wilson returning kicks here for the second half. We'll get this one, make a good little sidestep. Ooh, tiptoe up to the 35-yard line. Good return by Darian Wilson, 35-yard return. Now we'll give the Minnesota Vikings good starting position as Smeagol now will come out and take over QB duties. And I do believe Travis Parker will check in at running back. Luis Gonzalez in at tight end. Oh, just over Luis Gonzalez's head. Smeagol looked right through right. And he's quickly 0 for 1 on the day. So 2nd and 10 now. Anybody to go up against this defense and have success, it will be Travis Parker, the bruiser running back here. 14:52, he will turn, he will hand it to him. Trucks a man and gets a pass. The first down marker for an 18-yard gain. Cameron Quick dropped it. So another one, across the middle, this time caught by Anthony Bisbee. Anthony Bisbee caught, that is a gain of 22, and Smeagol's first completion goes for a first down. So a good throw, good catch, good abs, as the saying goes. It was Travis Parker now. Flanked by Smeagol in the offside shotgun. Smeagol will get the snap. He'll look down the middle. He will take off. Nobody open, so he takes off. Holds on to the ball, gets up to the 21, rush of 7. Don't know why you don't slide there, but that's how we do it. So moving the ball down the field against the 2s here are our number 2s. Smeagol, high formation. What a weird play. He throws towards the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Vikings. There is an injury timeout, so we'll get that. But Josh Gable will make the touchdown snag. And what a throw. What a throw by Smeagol. So he, with a perfect throw, Josh Gable catching it. Touchdown Vikings. And we take the lead on that. Seattle Seahawks. Truth be told, I'm not 100% sure. But he'll make the throw. And it's caught. Paul Fritchie not able to make the play. And it's caught down there. He's throwing nothing but long bombs here tonight. Sheet Spinks will motion. As they go to the left with Eddie Lacy, and he gets in. Touchdown Seahawks. So the lead changes yet again to the Seattle Seahawks as Eddie Lacy gets in there for the second time tonight against this Minnesota Vikings defense. Terrell Oliver attempted the tackle, and they're going to go for 2 now. So going for 2 are the Seattle Seahawks. Austin Davis in the shotgun with Eddie Lacy to his right. He will get the snap. He will look left, but be met by Lee O'Neill. There's a sack by the Minnesota Vikings. So it's only a 5-point game, 9:53 left to go here in the 3rd. Lee O'Neill with the sack. 6 plays, 68 yards, 2 minutes, 27. 4 rushes, 10 yards for Eddie Lacy and a touchdown, but this is how it all ends. Austin Davis turns around and sees Lee O'Neill right in his face for the sack. Point Tralamalu originally stops Eddie Lacy, and then Rashid Spinks will finish him off. Point Tralamalu getting behind the line and getting that snap count correct. Of course, Travis Parker behind Smeagol and Matthew in the I formation. Turns and cut it up the middle. Travis Parker, will he do it again? Stays on his feet in the end zone. Touchdown, Travis Parker. Second game with a touchdown. That one goes for 37 yards. And the Minnesota Vikings only need 1 play for a touchdown. He scored a long touchdown run in the previous game, and this one is no different. Breaks 2 tackles on the way to the end zone. And Travis Parker quickly 2 touchdowns on the season. Drew Ward coming on the blitz yet again. Caught out of bounds, incomplete. They will have to settle for a field goal and take a 1-yard gain. Or a 1-yard gain. A 1-point lead if it's good. Of course, Drew Ward almost getting the sack. Austin Davis throwing. And that is incomplete, out of bounds. Kick is good. So Blair Walsh's kick is good. They take a 1-point lead with 54 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter, as Davis has Eddie Lacy to his left in the shotgun. He will turn, flip it to him. Lacy will get loose. Lacy down the right side of the field. Touchdown, Seattle. Lacy, third touchdown of the game. 45-yarder. 29-22 Seattle. Smeagol, shotgun. Receive the snap. He will throw left. Caught Jesse Peterson and wrapped up and falls ahead, first down, Minnesota. Smeagol out of the shotgun. He will get the snap. Throw down the middle of the field. It's intercepted. Intended for Anthony Bisbee. The pass floated on him. And that will be his first interception thrown this season. He made the interception. Anyway, 3rd and 8. And we're going to play Poi Tralamalu here. For the last time tonight. I said last time was last, but this is the real last. As the throw is caught by Darbo yet again off the left side of the formation. And another first down for Darbo. So here we go. Justin Lewis reading that. It's a fumble. Picked up by Brown. Brown will scoot it in the end zone. Touchdown. Oh my goodness. So the hit by Kevin Stark goes all for naught. As the forced fumble was recovered by Brown, I believe the fullback, and brought into the end zone. So, you get the forced fumble, but they get the touchdown spot. Kick away good. Blair Walsh kicks them to a 37-22 lead. Linebacker, he will get the snap. Thrown up and intercepted, intended for Jesse Peterson. So second interception for the day of Smeagol, and he will get the tackle on Lane. And that'll just about do it here. Aaron Nelson comes on the blitz. Austin Davis has all the time in the world. He's going to make the throw. Paul Fritchie yet again. No! Knocks it away from Darbo. His first pass deflection almost had the interception. Did Paul Fritchie 4th and 10 will force a punt. No plans to take Smeagol out, as he can't be taken out of the game here. But you have to try and do something that you have not shown the Seahawks yet. Is the kick here. We'll be out at the 21. We'll take over from there. 4th and 15. They're going to keep the offense out there. Why not? It is preseason after all. You got to get him used to going for it on 4th. Jesse Peterson, the slot receiver. Smeagol gets the snap. Throws to the left. Dropped. Cameron Quick, or Lou Wang rather. And that will go back to the Seattle Seahawks. Now just seeing what you got on defense is 8 seconds. Josh Fitzer back in the game. Oh, what a big hit, Justin Lewis on Eddie Lacy. Went for the legs, and that's how you take down the big man. 3rd and 13 upcoming now. Boom, right on that left knee of Eddie Lacy. The fans are standing here in this 3rd and 13 from the 18, and the 2-minute warning will hit before the ball can be snapped. So we're back here. 2 minutes left to go in the game. 3rd and 13 from the 18. Handoff to the left side. That is Procise. He will get down. Vikings will call a timeout. So 37-22. They will no doubt go for a field goal and extend it to 40 if it's good. Blair Walsh lines up. About a 32-yard field goal. Kick is away. It is good. So now what do you do? Quick pass. Sam Gable, his first catch of the game. And there's an injury timeout. These off-ball injuries affecting the Minnesota Vikings here tonight. And Sam Gable was injured, so Daniel Hendricks will come back in. Smeagol out of the shotgun. Gets the snap. Thrown almost intercepted. Little miscommunication there on receiver to quarterback, so. Now that injury timeout has costed us our last timeout. So no more timeouts remaining for the Vikings. Thrown across the middle, intended Jesse Peterson. He gets the catch. 40 seconds left to go here. And we'll have to see about getting this snap off here as they hurry back to the line. Weird play action play. Pass Daniel Hendricks caught. Stays on his feet down to the 1. And they'll get a no huddle action going yet again. Hurries everybody back to the line. Gets the snap off. Daniel Hendricks swarmed at the line of scrimmage, and we will get another opportunity as quickly. Throw. Caught. Josh Gable. Touchdown. Second of the game, Josh Gable from Smeagol. So for what it's worth, good play action. Finally worked there in the red zone. And that will be a bruised shoulder. He'll return soon, so we'll just keep Sam Gable in there, and we're going to go for 2 here. It's about 12 seconds left. Got to get the play off. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We just get it off. Sees Lou Wang back in the end zone. Caught. 2-point conversion is good. We're only down by 10. Lou Wang jumps into that fan section behind the end zone. I don't know if you saw that, but here you go. Brandon Baker to kick off here with the wind. Sends this thing screaming down the field. This will be a touchback as it goes out the back of the end zone. My takeaways for this game, the turnovers. You cannot keep having them and expect to win games, especially in this year's, or in this age NFL. And we will turn it over to the broadcast camera for this last play. It's just going to be a kneel down, and that will be the end of the game as we end on the TV broadcast camera. Once again, your Minnesota Vikings fall to the Seattle Seahawks, or as like Randy Replay likes to call them, the Seattle Super Chickens. We'll get you ready for stats and analysis. Smeagol not happy about that, obviously. Carroll and Zimmer meeting in the middle of the field. 40-30 your final score. And here we are back. We're going to go over everything. Week 2, Minnesota Vikings preseason football. Smeagol Axburn. Colin Kaepernick actually ended the day with a 97.0 QB rating. He was 6 for 9. That is 67% completion percentage. For those of you that didn't know how to do math or didn't look over here. 85 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Something that you want to look from a starter in a preseason game. What does his completion percentage look like? And then did he turn the ball over? And so far today, he did not. Steven Capagna, 95.4 QB rating. 3 for 5, 60% completion percentage, 52 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Kenny Erickson, of course, did not play today due to injury, so Smeagol took over. Third string reps, he got 59.2, 17 for 36, 47% completion percentage, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, and threw 2 picks in the game. Rushing, Derek Fahey led the team with 11 carries for 36 yards. Justin Sandman Vandershoff, 10 for 47. Smeagol, 6 for 42. Travis Parker, 4 carries, 61 yards, and the touchdown, now second touchdown of his preseason. Steven Campagna, 3 for 13. Matthew Peterson, 2 for 4. Daniel Hendricks, 1 for 3. Receiving, Luis Gonzalez tied for the lead, 4 catches, 32 yards, and Jesse Peterson, 4 catches, 62 yards. Anthony Bisbee, 3 for 53. Josh Gable, 3 for 34. 2 touchdowns on the day. Wowzers. Luke Slazewski, 2 for 33. Blake Letelier, 2 for 36. Cameron Quick, 2 for 26. Travis Lee, 1 for 17. Darian Wilson, 1 for 14. Daniel Hendricks, 1 for 4. Sam Gable, 1 for 4. Lou Wang, 1 for 10. Derek Fahey, 1 for 6. And Matthew Peterson went no catches. He was targeted once, but he dropped it. Nobody cares about blocking, so we're going to go to defense and look at total tackles. And Poi Tralamalu had, in Randy's opinion, the best day of his preseason so far. 8 tackles, 1 of them for a loss. Aaron Nelson had 7. Justin Lewis had 7. Paul Fritchie had 6. Rashid Spinks had 5. Thomas Cross had 5. Tevin Fair had 4. Zachary Anderson, Robert Nichols, Kevin Stark, and Jacob Pickering had 3. Josh Fitzer, Drew Ward, Richard Salty, Leo Neal, Thaddeus Rosu, Terrell Oliver, Danny Pickering, Jerry Myers each had 2. Smeagol, Jeremiah Searles, Matthew Peterson, Brandon Baker, Josiah Russell, Matthew Arnsdorf, Scott Rethwell, Travis Lee each had 1. Tackles for loss, we had a bunch. Terrell Oliver, 2 tackles in the game, both for a loss. Rashid Spinks, 5 tackles in the game, 2 of them were for a loss, 2 of his solos. So, Richard Salty had 1, Leo Neal had 1, Tevin Fair, Thomas Cross, Justin Lewis, Kevin Stark, and then Poi Tralamalu. Sacks rather, we had 1 by Tevin Fair. Interceptions, we had 0. We had a bunch of pass deflections. Anthony Bisbee, Aaron Nelson, Luis Gonzalez, Poi Tralamalu, Zachary Anderson, Robert Nichols, Paul Fritchie each had 1. Forced fumbles, we had 1 by Tevin Fair, 1 by Kevin Stark. None of them were recovered by the Vikings, even though I know one of them were. Oops. And then no block kicks, no safeties, and no defensive touchdowns for your Minnesota Vikings. Kicking, Brandon Baker was a busy beaver today, 3 for 3, 100%. Longest of 27, he was 1 for 1 on extra points. Punting, Taylor Pauline had 3 punts for 130-yard netting, 129. 2 of them inside the 20. No touchbacks. Longest punt of 48. Luke Slazewski, two kick returns for 57 yards. Longest of 29. Darian Wilson, 4 kick returns for 107. Longest of 35. And then Justin Vandershoff, 1 for 15. Longest of 15. Punt returns, 1 for 29 by Darian Wilson. And that is how today will go. So the Minnesota Vikings fall to 0-2 in the preseason, but we have 2 games at home against very beatable teams, the 49ers and the Miami Dolphins. Next time you see us will be our first game from US Bank Stadium for the season. We're going to get you back to the main screen and preview that game. This has been Randy Replay. And hello and welcome back to the main screen. This is Randy Replay back at it again. We're going to have an interesting game this week as the 0-2 San Francisco 49ers come to US Bank Stadium to play the 0-2 Minnesota Vikings. So, very, 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 very interesting game coming up. We do have a player returning from injury. Kenny Erickson will be available to play, although we did suffer some injuries in the game against the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to take a look and see how those injuries affect the rest of the year. All right, so Nick Easton, our backup center, has a abdominal tear. He will be out 4 weeks, so he will be out until around week 3 or 4, depending on what the team wants to do. And Chris Kontorowicz still out 3 weeks with that shoulder tear. So cares aplenty just to be sure, or funny, we're going to go look at the 49ers. They have no injured players, must be nice. Looking ahead. Oh, everybody in the division won this week except for the Minnesota Vikings. So we are in the bottom of the division, but you need to remember it is preseason. And we have the 49ers and the Miami Dolphins coming to town this week and next week. So once again, your Minnesota Vikings come back and play a little bit for dignity, but still drop the game to the Seattle Seahawks 40-30. I did like what I saw during the game. The defense played really, really good. And then Smeagol, of course, had the 2-touchdown day. So we'll take a look, and we will see you in the next one. This has been Randy Replay.